The other day, I posted a picture on Instagram as well as Facebook asking a question that we don't typically get asked. So everyone's always talking about what motivates them. Like, oh, this fitness girl motivates me. I want to look like Katie Hearn, or I want to look like this girl or this girl. Things like that. Or, oh my goodness, like I want to start a business like this person, or I want to be super mom like this person, right? But we never talk about the things that make us feel unmotivated, that make us not follow our dreams, not stick to our goals. And I wanted to hear people's responses for this because I think it's important to narrow in on those things and fix the way we think and fix the way we're going about our goals. So I got some amazing feedback, and I kind of grouped everybody's responses together into different categories because I think that every response some fell under the same type of category. The categories I ended up doing were, these are things that make people feel unmotivated and not want to follow their goals. So they were plateauing, offensive comments like, oh, you need to stop lifting, or you're going to look like a man, your traps are too big, don't do that, or like, why do you work out so much, it consumes your life, comments like that from people. Stress, this was a huge one. Everyone talked about stress, life, big events, weddings, holidays, birthdays, vacations, work, school, moving, even losing a family member. Someone talked about getting off track. So they had a goal, they're on track, and then when they get off track, it makes them feel unmotivated, and then they down spiral even more off track, and it makes it even that harder to get back on with focusing their goal. We talked about having babies, being injured, no accountability, so people who don't have a gym that they go to, or maybe someone they work out with, like they're not being held accountable, so they lose their motivation. And also a very huge one from a lot of people was impatience. Impatience that they're not getting the results fast enough. So these are so many different reasons, and they all make sense. I've been through pretty much I've never had a baby, so I can't relate to that. However, I understand why these things will make people feel unmotivated. So my goal today is to talk about how to make a goal that you can achieve, to be more successful in goal making, that you will achieve these goals. And even when these life things happen and you feel unmotivated, it'll be easier to get back on track and you can get to it. So I want right now for you to think about whatever your goal is, what you have planned. It can be fitness, health, business, school, any goal you have. I want right now for you to think about it. I'm going to show you about a minute worth of short workout clips from earlier this week, and in that time I really want you to focus. Alright, so this is my goal, and then when we get back we're going to talk about the goal you made and how we can alter it and actually reach that goal in a more effective way. See you then. What you want, what you want. So now you should have your goal in your head, and we're going to go through a process to see how good your goal is working for you, if it's effective or if it's not. So I want you to think about your goal, and then as we go through this process, think about how maybe you can change the way you're working towards your goal. And after this video, I would really urge you to grab a piece of paper, a pen, your notes in your phone, whatever, and maybe redo it and structure it to the way we discussed right now. So I want to start out with an acronym. Oh, hello, Peaches. Peaches wants to say hi. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, you don't want to let me in the camera? Okay, rude. Start off with an acronym called s.m.a.r.t. S.m.a.r.t. This stands for specific, measurable, actionable, relevancy, and time. So the first one we're gonna go over is specific. This is a very, very important step, if not the most important. So a mistake we often make when making goals is being way too broad. So we make our goal something like, oh, I want to be super strong, or I just want to be skinny, or I want to eat real healthy this year. We just make goals that are too broad and not specific. So here's how we can make a specific goal. For example, I want to grow my glutes and my hamstrings. Boom, we're very specific. We're talking about what muscle groups we want to grow, right? Instead of just being like, yeah, I want to look like those fitness models. What about those fitness models are you trying to achieve? You're not being specific enough. So a specific goal would be, I'm going to grow my glutes and my hamstrings. And these goals can also have sub-goals. We'll get into that a little bit later, but just know that you could say, I want to grow overall muscle, and my sub-goals be, glutes, hamstrings, bicep, tricep, things like that, right? So now we have our specific goal. Now we need to move into the M, which is measurable. How are we going to measure this goal? We have to have a unit of measurement for our goals, or else how are we tracking them, right? So if you say like, oh, I just want to be fit in a year, okay, so exactly how are you measuring fit? You don't really have a way to do that, right? So if your goal is, I'm going to grow my glutes and my hamstrings, cool. We can do a few things. We can take a fabric tape measure. We can literally measure our glutes and our hamstrings. We can take pictures so that we can see the growth in pictures, which is a great tool, by the way. We can go in those bod pods and see our body fat percentage, things like that, right? So now we have a goal that's specific, and we have a way to measure our goal. This brings us to A, which is actionable. Actionable is how are you going to achieve this goal, right? So one of the biggest things are resources. You need resources to achieve your goal. So you want to grow your glutes and hamstrings, right? So do you have a gym to go to? Do you have exercises for at home? Where are you gonna do this goal at, right? Also, do you need a coach? Do you need to contact somebody? This goes for all other goals too, personal and professional as well. So if you have a goal at your job or for your profession, so you want to complete some course or something, all right, do you have the resources? Are you making sure you're in contact with the person that can sign you up? Do they know you want to do this? So you see what I mean? You can't just say things like, oh, I want to be fit, and then not also have resources to help you, because most of the time we can't do it on our own. We need help. We need a program. Are we going to contact somebody for a meal plan, fitness plan, things like that? So we need to take action. Another part of action is visualization, and this is near and dear to my heart because I truly believe in it. If you can imagine something, if you believe in something, if you can see it in your mind, it can happen. Trust me. So something small. I can see myself deadlifting 250 pounds. I can see this in my head over and over again, right? So as I'm working towards it, I have it in my mind and I will do it. I see myself doing it. So if you can see something and you can believe in it, you can definitely achieve it. One more point under actionable is to share your goal with somebody. So for all of those people who said one of the things that unmotivate you is accountability, one way to keep that accountability is by sharing your goal with somebody you love, someone who isn't afraid to put you in your place and tell you when you're wrong or when you're slacking, things like that. So maybe just like posting it on social media isn't the way to go, but if you keep the people in your circle and close to you in on your goal, they can definitely help you. So, and if people don't help you towards your goal or are negative about your goal and are like, yeah, let's go eat Whataburger and drink milkshakes and french fries and all this stuff, when you've told them that your goal is to get fit, then maybe those kind of people shouldn't be in your life. Just a thought. The next part of this process is relevancy. How realistic is your goal? I'm not saying don't shoot for the stars and dream big, because you definitely should. However, is the time that, well, we'll get to time, but are you being realistic with your expectations? So for those of you who just had babies, that was a big one. Like, you know, you had a baby 3-4 months ago and you're just like, I'm not fit yet. Well, is that realistic? Is the effort that you're putting in equal to the result you're going to get right now? No, you need some time. So it's okay you have to think of relevancy. Like, is this realistic? Can I really achieve what I said in this amount of time? Really sit back and think about it. And if you do that, instead of getting sad about it, you'll actually reach your goal faster. So if you really say, I'm going to give myself 12 months to do this or that, then you're way more likely to reach your goal than if you are to, you know, be at 5 months and just be like, you know what, I give up, I'm not where I want to be. But did you ever really even set a place you were supposed to be in 5 months, 6 months postpartum? You really have to think about these things, because then you get unmotivated because you're not where you want to be. But do you really know where you wanted to be? Did you set a plan? Did you write this down? You have to think about these things. So the very last one is time bound, which I kind of just touched on, but this is so important. You cannot have a goal without having a time limit on it. Not necessarily a limit, but you set a goal. So our goal in the beginning, we said we want to grow our glutes and our hamstrings, right? So we want to grow our glutes and our hamstrings in 6 months. So now you have this 6-month mark, right? And now you can work back from this 6-month mark. So say, what month is it right now? I can't even think. February. Let's just say July, right? So July something is when we want to reach this goal. Cool. So now we have 6 or whatever months. We backtrack from there and we say, all right, so this month we want to do this. This month we do this, and this. So we literally have a plan for the next 6 months. Having a time limit, not a time limit, but a time when we want to achieve something, helps us monitor our progress. So going back one, like we were just talking about postpartum after you have your baby, you get upset because you're not at a certain point. But if you have, like, say you give yourself 12 months to reach a goal of you want to be this % body fat. Awesome, cool. You have a time now, so you can monitor your progress. Maybe check in once a month, something like that. To give a realistic plan, to put this all in perspective for you, I just talked to my coach who programs my training sessions for me. I do my own diet. So I said, hey, but May 4th, I want to be pretty shredded and low body fat, right? So that's 9 weeks away. So we counted 9 weeks. Cool, where am I at right now? Then we talked about it. This is what we're going to do for this week, and this week. And if you do all this, you should have your result by May 4th. Basically, I want to put a huge emphasis on having a time-bound goal. So to recapture everything, we want to be specific in our goal. We don't want to be too broad. We don't want to say things like, I just want to be fit, or I want to look like I did before I had my baby. That's still very broad. We want to get our goal to be specific. Next, we want to be able to measure it, whether that's getting on a scale, taking pictures. If it's something with a business, are we grossing with clients or money, things like that, things that we can measure. Actionable, we need to put it into action. Do we have the right resources that we need? Do we have a gym to go to? Do we have workout videos? Do we have a coach, etc.? Next, relevancy. Are we being realistic about our goal? Can we really hit this goal and do what we're saying we're going to do? not just throw it out there, I'm going to be a millionaire in a year. All right, that's a great goal, but when you break down the actions and the resources that you have, is that going to be possible? Should maybe you alter your goal? So overall, what I want you to take from this is the fact that sometimes you're not reaching your goals because you're not really focused on what your goal actually is. So after this video, I really urge you to write your goal down, be specific, go over these steps, and see the progress you make. I really believe in you. I think you can do it. And if you have any questions, please leave comments, concerns, whatever. And also, I would love to hear your feedback on other things you'd like me to talk about, to demonstrate, anything. I'm open to it all. So let me know. I really hope this helped you. The process helps me a lot. And I'll see you on the next one.